Jai Gurudev, everybody. So, you see, like I was saying, the world is going paranoid, and the paranoia have really installed in the head of everybody. Even here in Vrindavan, you see, the people, the authority, they're also going a bit cuckoo in themselves. And, if you know the Indian bureaucracy, everything is about paper, paper, paper. You give them one paper, tomorrow they look for another paper, and tomorrow they will come again, and next day asking for more paper. It's like you have to keep printing the paper and keep giving them. And of course, you see, this is also due to the neighbors, because here they have a certain mentality that the Westerners, the foreigners, they are the cause of the coronavirus in India. And maybe it is partly true. But you see, they categorize everybody in the same box. And whenever they see foreigners, they see coronavirus. And sadly, it's not only here. In Germany also, in the ashram there, throughout all these years, you see, we have been abiding to everything what the government say, what the neighbors, whenever they complain, they say, But yet, still, they have a problem with us. So, you see, people, they like their problem. They like their worry. They like their fear. In spite of rejoicing and be happy to see happy people, they are not happy about it. They look to be miserable. And that's why I think Bhagwan have given them something to be miserable right now. So, what to do? That's why we had some issues. That's why the satsang had been delayed a little bit. But you see how it is. People are people. Look, I'm wearing a nice t-shirt of Shiva today. And on the head of Shiva is Krishna. And the beyond is Srimad Narayana. And I think that's where we have to be. Like Shiva is always constantly, his mind is on Ram. So like that, we should not bother about these people, So, a little bit of resume of what is happening here and in the ashram in Germany. So, I will ask Swami Revati to ask the question.
Dear Guruji, you always tell us to follow the example of the saints, but my mind is troubled because when you gave us the 16 japa rounds to do, you told us not to do it so quickly. I am watching your live stream and you are doing it so quickly. Is it because you are strong focused or is it something else?
Actually, when we are chanting, I'm not chanting Om Namo Narayana. I'm chanting Vitthala, 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 Vitthala. That's why it's going faster. Well, you see, when I'm chanting, my mind is seeing the vision of Vitthal and Ragumai. So the vision is in front of me. That's why we are interacting with. I'm interacting with them. So that's why I can chant. Normally, even if I don't chant, it doesn't matter because in each breath, I do remember them. I am doing this chanting not for myself, but for all of you. And also to inspire you to chant daily the name of God. Because here, everywhere, like I said from the beginning of our satsang, we are reminded continuously of God present in our life. So when I'm chanting, fast or slow, I'm doing it with the same attitude and faith, whether I'm going and doing my other things of daily life, So it's true. I've said to chant because you see, for you all, you have to learn to calm your mind. But my mind, there's nothing there. So there's nothing to calm. So I can chant I can scream His name, I can run. It doesn't matter as long as I'm chanting the name of the Lord. And for you also the same, you know. You can chant the name of Bhagwan however you feel. You know. As long as you chant it with faith and devotion, that is the most important thing. You know, if you chant, you don't have faith in what you are chanting, of course it will make certain effect upon. But with faith, that amplified that divine names and give such a great power into it. And that is the most important. You know? And I'm enjoying it actually, really. You know, I wait for that time. You know, I'm looking at the time. You know, when would be 4:15 that I can sit there and chant with all of you, really. So,
dear Guruji, what is the best way to cultivate humility?
You see, if I will say, if humility will be just like a kilo of rice, you can just go to the shop and buy it. You have it much easier. Very often when people talk about humility, they talk about humility like as if it is a grain of rice, you know, that you can just go to the shop and buy something. Oh yes, I'm very humble. You know, no, humility is a life, how to say, work out process, you know. It's not from one day to the other. It's not by saying, but I am humble, you become humble. You know, but it is by transforming. How do you see yourself? Humility will awake. If you are full of pride and ego, do you think humility will awake? You may say, I am humble, I'm humble, I'm humble. I've seen so many people, you know, they think that they are very humble. But in reality, when you talk with them, they keep talking only about themselves. They don't talk about God. They don't talk about anything else. But how great they are, how many things they have. And they call themselves very often humble. So humility is a virtue. But more you go deeper into yourself, more you will realize that you have to be humble. The whole expansion of things, you know, because what makes you arrogant is what you think you know. They say, more you think that you know something, more, very often, you become arrogant. And but more you think that you still have to learn a lot, more that will humble you. Because learning never finishes. From the first moment you breathe, you take the first breath, until the last one you will still learn. So, this is humility, when you forget about what you know of yourself. Say that you don't know anything. And look at yourself and see it, not just saying it only, not mere words, empty words, but the meaning of it. That yes, when you look at yourself, do you know who you are? Do you know yourself? Then why all these glamorous words, you know, how great you are, how wonderful you are, you know. All this greatness and all this wonderful, in one click, the Lord can take it away. You know. And this is the moment also, you see what is happening in the world where, you know, this virus, you know, is humbling everybody, from the highest to the lowest. Everybody is being humble, you know. Everybody is being reminded of life. So, why being arrogant when you will leave everything here and go? You know? So, this is one thing that I have never understood. Why people have to be proud of what they have. It's good. You have work, you have earned a lot. That is yours. Why become proud about it? Why being arrogant about it? You can also do it in a humble way. And in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12, verse 2 actually, Bhagavan remind, of the quality a devotee must have, He said three things in that. He said, those who fix their mind upon me, those who worship me, and those who have faith in me. For them, I consider them the greatest yogi. No? Is the most, how to say? The highest
path. They're on the highest
path. They're on the highest path. It's three simple things. Very often on the bhakti path, we find people say, "Oh yeah, bhakti is very simple, very, how to say? It's for simple people." Actually, it's not true. When we look at these three things that Bhagavan said, those who is
strong faith in
yes, those who have strong faith in me. Faith is not just like that, Faith is not just, I believe in something blindly like that. Faith make the things that you doesn't know known to you. Those who worship me, when we see the devotee worshipping the deities, for the outside world, people will think, "Oh my goodness, these people are stupid. These people are dumb. They are just worshipping a stone or a piece of metal." But it's not true. You see, what is happening by worshipping the deity? Your mind needs something to focus upon. Either it is focusing upon the world, to become a slave to the world, or your mind has been given a certain image, a certain focus, a certain aim. And so a devotee's mind is not focusing on themselves for their pride and ego to boost up. No. They are focusing upon the form of the beloved Lord. This is the object of their worship. Even this object is limited, yes, but that mind which is unlimited, that mind which is great, have learned to focus itself upon that supreme form, because the form of the Lord, even if it is limited to the matter, but in reality what is holding that faith, what we said, if you believe a stone to be a stone, it will be a stone. But if you believe that stone to be God, it becomes a shivling. Like that belief, when somebody is worshipping, that object of worship become one focus and one intention. Then Bhagavan said, and the third one is those who focus their mind upon me. Like, you see, these three sound similar. Those who have faith, those who have, they find Him as the object, and those who focus their mind upon Him. It's similar, but focus, you see, we can sit in contemplation, we can sit in japam, but very often our mind is wandering around, but here Bhagavan exclusively said, those who focus the mind upon me, I consider that as the greatest yoga. So that focus is not just a mere focus. It's a focus which all the attention is being diverted to one single point. You know, we can read a novel, just go through it like nothing. Like people read one novel after the other, you know, they fill their mind with so many things, but it doesn't have any impact upon their life. Does a novel change one life? No, it doesn't. You can read hundreds, it will never change your life. It will actually make you more dumb and stupid. Because then you try to, implement this in your life and thinking that, oh yeah, the Prince Charming will come and all the stuff. This is where all problems start arising. But when you have focus upon the Lord, you focus on His Leela, something else awake inside of you. That is the understanding of life itself. Because what Bhagwan have given through the Holy Scriptures, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita and so on, is about your journey back to understand who you are truly. You know, go beyond that mind concept, that sensory organ concept, that sorry, no corona, don't worry. That intellectual concept, you know, but that happened only through humility. It can't happen differently. When we talk about love, the whole concept of love, of course, everybody knows a certain way what love is. But love in itself is a very humble quality. You are giving up your own freedom for something. That's what is love. Whether it is, you see that clearly when two people are in love with each another. You see, one is giving up their own freedom, or both are giving up their own freedom to sustain each other, to be able to cope with each another. You know, lately, because of this coronavirus, people have been sending me, some devotee have been sending me some funny picture, also some funny video about how terrible it is when people are living together to bear each another. What is happening after 3-4 days? It's really funny to look at it. But this is how it is, you see. It humbles you. This morning I got a little video from somebody. Man tried to ask his wife something, and the wife took a bell and started beating it, and it's written after 4 days of quarantine. You know, so you see, nature is still humbling each one also about that. So you see, humbleness come in many ways. Right now, the whole world is called to humble themselves, to take time to go inwardly. You know, and I really wish people will understand that. You know, because, like I was saying earlier at the beginning of the satsang itself, you know, we are trying always, you know, to spread the love of God, but not everybody really will be able to understand that. But that's what we have, you know. So it reminds me of a story right now of two neighbors. A wise neighbor and very intelligent and very rich, you know. He bought a beautiful orchard and he had his beautiful house on it. And his neighbor was a grumpy old man. He was very jealous of his neighbor. So he'd do everything to make that man, that neighbor with the beautiful house, angry. And really, he tried his best. He will throw garbage, he will do every, terrible things for harassing his neighbor because of jealousy. So one day he took some garbage and in front of the gate, he pushed all the garbage, underneath, and he left his basket there. So when the neighbor, the wise neighbor came out, wise and intelligent, he came out, he saw the garbage. What he did, he just cleaned it. And then he took the basket, he filled it with some nice apple. Then he went to the grumpy neighbor, knocked at the door. When the grumpy neighbor heard the door knocking, he said, "Yay, I'm ready to fight with him because finally he have come, to his sense. But we have to fight. We have to really beat each another for him to understand that I'm more powerful and more stronger than him." So when he opened the door, he saw the man with a basket, and the man hand the basket to him full of apple in it. And he said, "Listen, I'm returning your basket with what I have. You have given me what you have, but I'm giving you what I have." So let's say like that, everybody give to each another what they have. So if you are humble, what you have inside of your heart, that's what you will give to this world.
Guruji, I have had both positive and negative experiences with your Swamis. If one doesn't follow the Swami's guidance, is the consequences the same as not following Guru's guidance, as they are your representatives, or is there any consequence at all?
Actually, there is no consequence, because they are not the Swamis, my Swamis, they are not your Guru. What is important to be clear is who is the Guru. I am the Guru for all of you. So whether you are following the guidance of the Swamis or not, it is not a consequence. But the Swamis have been given a certain task, you see, and of course they represent me. Certain respect must be given to them. But if they start to put themselves in the role of the Guru and expect people to really abide to them or fall at their feet and eat their prasad and so on, I have heard many things like that. That is completely absurd, So you devotees should know that even if they are taking initiation from the Swamis, but I am the only Guru and will always be the only Guru for them. Whether I'm here physically or not, I will always be the Guru for them. So.
Dear Sir, who or what is God to you? Can you please share the essence of what God is? I have had so many understandings in my life, and I would just like to have one, please.
Well, you have many understanding, and if that have not given you the right understanding who is God, then I don't think that what I will tell you that will make any changes in your life. You see, people like the concept of God. They like God, they like to hear what and how God must be according to them. As long as they are looking from many paths, from many ways, and they are expecting that throughout that, someone will tell them, God is like this. Then they will be happy. There was once, I told a story, a man was also going from one ashram to the other, always asking, about his question. And of course, in his mind, he have a certain answer inside of his mind. You see, when you go and ask a question like that, you have a certain answer, what you want to hear. God must be an old man with a long beard, very strict and very terrifying for some. Right? For some, they like the concept of God, but God is there to fulfill their wish only. It's like a wish-fulfilling tree, whatever wish they have, they like to say, oh God, please fulfill that wish for me. They don't even know whether God is listening or not listening, But yet, they do it for the sake of doing. And then you have others who sincerely and truly devote their life to know God. You see, you expect me to answer your question, who is God? If I would tell you, yes, God is love, would that awake that love inside of your heart? No, it will not. You see? If I would tell you God is bliss, will it awake that bliss inside of you? No, it will not. It is only through sincere dedication, for sincere longing for Him, for sincere want to know Him, but He will reveal Himself. Otherwise, why should He reveal Himself? You which is moving from one concept to the other, you will keep moving from one concept to the other, because no concept will really make you happy. Because you see, you're wasting your time in running behind concept of God, in place of building your relationship with Him. The question now will arise, but I don't know Him. How can I build a relationship to Him? That will be the next question inside of your mind. You see, when we study the Holy Scriptures, everybody doesn't know everything. God reveals Himself. You see, when you don't know something, you go and study. No? And then through study, let's say a scientist, firstly, before they learn it through books, then they put in practice through their, in the laboratory, in what they want to research. Then they will have the result afterwards. The same thing, you see. If you say, yes, I want to know about God, who is He, what is He, and so on, but yet you are not doing any effort, and that also, doing effort in the right way. Because you see, if you do effort in the wrong way, of course, then you will have still more concept. You see, nowadays when we look at this world, very often people like just the concept of just being happy. Are they really happy? No, they are not happy. But yet, because it's pleasing to the ears, but I am happy, then I am happy. But life doesn't go like that, no? You have to find real happiness in life. When we talk about God, it's not just a concept of it. It's not just a mere word which doesn't have the power of it. We have to get to know Him. We have to get to really, like the sages and the saints, we have to believe that they had this relationship with Him. And they have known Him. Once, there was a reporter, in India here, people, the Varakaris, they walk for many days to Pandharpur to have the darshan of Panduranga. Among this, there was an old man. So there was a reporter who reported and asked this man, how many years have you walked to Pandharpur? The old man said, I've been walking for 70 years. Every year, I'll walk for a whole month to Pandharpur to have darshan of Panduranga. And that also, you see, there is millions of people who walk there. They don't go inside the temple to have darshan of Panduranga. They walk continuously chanting Vitthala, 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 Vitthala. They walk to have darshan only of the kalash, which means the pot on the top of the temple. Once they have seen that, they bow down, they walk back. What kind of devotion is that? So the reporter said, but you never seen Panduranga. For 70 years you have been walking. But the man answered, but he said, yes, I never seen him, but I trust that he see me. I said, how can you trust? I said, I trust in the word of Sant Dhyaneshwar Tukaram. I trust in the word of the saints. Because for them, they have seen him. They had been with him. It is like a dog, in the surrounding. You see, have you ever, for sure you have at night hear dog barking. You will hear one dog bark, and straight away all the dogs in the surrounding start barking. Maybe that dog, one dog, have seen the thief. Have all the other dogs which is barking seen the thieves? No, they have not. But they trust that one dog who have seen that thief is barking to alert all the others. They trust him. If dog can trust each another, people can trust in the word of the saints. So, and I find this such a beautiful answer. If we believed in what the saints and sadhus and gurus is saying, and really try. I don't say that you can put in practice everything, but at least try your best to build your relationship with Guru and God. Have that grace, that will make God visible to you. Finish? Jai Gurudev.